Hey, welcome back to my channel. This is Chef Karl from Cooking and Grilling with Karl. And in this video, I'm making for you my favorite shrimp recipe. It's a crab stuffed jumbo shrimp wrapped in bacon. One of my favorite all-time recipes. I learned about this recipe working as a busboy at Harvey Mansion in New Bern, North Carolina. I also had the privilege of making this recipe with a good friend of mine, Jeff Claremont. So shout out to him. So let's get to making my favorite recipe right after this. Alright, for the ingredients, we have fresh Parmesan cheese, grape tomatoes, fresh garlic, chives, chicken broth, butter, lemon, Old Bay seasoning, shallots, lump crab meat, milk, heavy cream, saltine crackers, Dijon mustard, polenta, mayonnaise, bacon, and jumbo shrimp. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is start doing the prep for our jumbo stuffed shrimp. So right here I'm just mincing up my shallot. And here I'm crushing some garlic so I can mince that up as well. And so here comes my man Jeff. He's opening up the lump crab meat. Get ready to make the stuffing. Right here, I'm chopping up my chives. Oh, and by the way, in the intro, I said that I learned about this recipe at Harvey Mansion as a busboy. That was my very first job. I was a teenager then. I was not a chef at that time, but that's the restaurant that opened my mind to, fine dining. And that's because of me being a busboy at that job. That's what led to me eventually becoming a chef. Alright, so right here you see Jeff putting in some Dijon mustard, and I'm cutting up my grape tomatoes, and that's going to be for my sauce and to add some color to the plate. Also, Jeff is also added in some mayonnaise to the crab. And here he's adding Old Bay seasoning. And right here is just another angle of Jeff adding in ingredients. As far as your Old Bay seasoning, make sure you do that to taste. Don't add a little bit because it can be very strong and a little bit salty. So always taste it before you go real heavy with it. Alright, right here I'm just shredding up my Parmesan. Always shred your own cheese because they use anti-caking agents in pre-shredded cheese. And they use things like cellulose, which isn't food. It's food grade, but it's not food. So right here you just see me adding some chives to the stuffing, and Jeff just squeezed in a lemon. And now I'm starting to split my shrimp. So you want to split them from the bottom. Alright. And Jeff is putting some saltine crackers in a bowl, and he's going to crush those up with his hands, and they're going to go into the stuffing. So you want to fan your shrimp open. You want to cut them from the bottom, fan them open so they can sit up. Alright, so Jeff just added in the saltine crackers, and here's me splitting all the shrimp. And so Jeff, he's starting to make little crab balls. And you can actually use this recipe to make crab cakes. You just don't want to mix it up as much. You want to leave the lumps a little plump so you can see them. But it really does nothing for the flavor. But in restaurants, you always want to make sure you can see the lumps if you're going to advertise it as being jumbo lump crab cakes. So right here, as you can see, the part that I split, that's the side that's going to face down. And then the inside of the curb, that's where you're going to put the crab meat at. You just want to flare it open at the bottom, kind of butterfly it open, rest that on top of the bacon, and put your ball of crab meat on the inside, and just roll it up. And make sure the tail is left out when you roll it up. But you'll see what I'm saying once I finish doing this one, then I show it to you. Alright, so all our shrimp are stuffed and rolled, and they're going into a preheated 350-degree oven. Alright, so right here, I'm getting ready to make the polenta, so I just added some chicken broth, brung it to a boil. Now I'm adding about a half a stick of butter. And now that my butter's all melted, I'm going to add in the polenta. I probably added about 2 cups. And I'm just going to stir it up so it doesn't clump. And if you already know how to make grits, then that's pretty much the same way you make polenta. Alright, so I just added some milk. And here I'm adding my Parmesan cheese. So that's the thing that's different about most people when they make cheese grits, they'll add like cheddar and American cheese. I'm adding Parmesan cheese to this. But if you already know how to make grits, then you can make your polenta any kind of way you want. Or you don't even have to serve this with polenta. It'll go with rice, mashed potatoes, whatever, pasta. So here I just went into a preheated cast iron pan. You can use whatever pan you want with my shallots and garlic. And once I got those nice and cooked, I deglazed the pan with some white wine. And I reduced the white wine by almost half. So now I'm going in with my heavy cream. And so what I did was I let the heavy cream cook down until it started getting a little bit thick, and then I added some fresh squeezed lemon juice. And here I'm just adding some cracked black pepper and some salt. And now I just went in with my grape tomatoes. Now you don't have to make a sauce with your stuffed shrimp. I just added in some butter to complete the sauce. That's going to give it a nice richness. But like I was saying, you don't have to add a sauce. You can make this any kind of way you want. But you know, the gist of this recipe is to make the crab stuffed shrimp. So basically, me making the polenta, the sauce is a bonus. And this is what I cook for some people at Jeff's house. And so here I am plating up along with Jeff's wife, Davina. A little bit of butter, salt, pepper, and I use the word, I use chicken broth. And there's a little bit of milk in there. So it's chicken broth, milk, butter, salt and pepper, Parmesan cheese. Alright, and then there's a little bit of a light lemon sauce on top. And then there's crab stuffed shrimp wrapped in bacon.
Alright.
Thank you, Chef.
Think about food.
Unbelievable.
Great. Amazing.
Amazing.
Gourmet at home, I love it.
Thank you very much, Chef.
Thank you, Chef.
Pleasure to serve you. What do you think about it, man? Did you eat it? Oh, yeah? They got you drinking tea?
There you have it. Crab stuffed shrimp wrapped in bacon. My favorite recipe. Best shrimp recipe ever, in my opinion. I just want to thank Jeff and Davina for allowing me to cook at their house and to serve their guests. Also, I just want to thank them for supporting my channel and supporting my business. Also, check out my boy Jeff's YouTube channel called Wave Mob. They got some hot music up there, so definitely check that out. And on that note, if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. Also, catch me on social media at Cooking and Grilling with Karl. And thanks for watching this video. Go forth in victory. Catch you on the next video. God bless. Peace.